Hello and welcome. If you want to learn how to stay healthy, both mentally and physically, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. It tells YouTube that you enjoy the content and helps our community grow. Do you think you are truly safe in your own body right now? There are people watching this or listening to this at this very moment who believe they are perfectly fine, yet they might not be here to celebrate their next birthday. This is not said to be cruel, and it is not just a scare tactic. It is a reality for millions of seniors who ignore the silent signals their bodies are screaming at them every single day. The things that shorten our lives are not always loud heart attacks or sudden falls. Often, they are quiet habits, small choices, and hidden biological traps that we step into without even noticing. You need to understand this because your life quite literally depends on it. I am going to walk you through 5 specific areas of your health that act like hidden assassins, slowly draining your vitality while you go about your normal routine. We are going to expose the silent dangers lurking in your kitchen, your living room, and even in your own blood vessels. You might think you know what is healthy, but some of what I'm about to tell you goes against what you have been told for decades. And please, I urge you to stay with me until the very end of this lecture. The final danger on this list is something you probably did this morning without a second thought, and it is the one thing that causes the most rapid decline in seniors, yet almost no one talks about it until it's too late. We are going to shine a light on these dangers so you can finally take control. Let's imagine your body is like a house. You have lived in it for a long time. You know where the creaky floorboards are and you feel comfortable there. But just like the hidden surveillance we worry about in our homes, there are hidden health threats that you have invited inside. The first major danger is disguised as your best friend. It is your favorite chair. Do you remember when we were young and we never stopped moving? We walked to the store, we worked in the garden, we fixed things with our hands. Today, the world has convinced us that retirement means resting. We have these comfortable recliners, soft sofas, and hours of television. It feels good to sit down. It feels like a reward for a life of hard work. But let me tell you the truth. That chair is a trap. When you sit for long periods, your body enters a state of hibernation that it was never designed for. It's not just about muscles getting weak, though that happens too. It's about what happens inside your rivers of blood. Think of a garden hose. When the water is running fast, it stays clear, but if you turn the water off and let it sit in the sun, things start to grow inside and sludge builds up. When you sit for more than an hour at a time, your blood flow slows down drastically. The enzymes that break down fat in your blood actually stop working. I want to tell you about a man named Arthur. Arthur was 75 and he was proud of his health. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, but he loved to read military history books. He would sit in his leather armchair for 4 or 5 hours at a time, lost in stories of the past. He thought he was safe, but one afternoon when he stood up to make tea, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. A clot had formed in his leg from all that stillness and traveled to his lungs. He survived, but the doctor told him something that shook him to his core. The doctor said that his chair was more dangerous to his heart than a pack of cigarettes. You see, movement is the oil that keeps your engine running. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to break the pattern of stillness. Every time you stand up, you are telling your body that you are still alive and that you still need energy. Now, before we move to the next hidden danger, I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever felt that your energy crashes in the middle of the afternoon and you just can't keep your eyes open? This brings us to the second danger, and it is hiding in your pantry. It is the silent inflammation caused by what we consider innocent foods. We all know that candy and soda are bad, that is obvious. But I am not talking about the obvious sugars. I'm talking about the hidden sugars that masquerade as healthy staples. Things like white toast, instant oatmeal, and those heart-healthy cereals. When you eat these processed carbohydrates, your body reacts exactly as if you just ate a spoonful of table sugar. Your blood sugar spikes rapidly. For a senior, this is devastating. Imagine your blood vessels are like the pipes in your home. High blood sugar is like pouring acid through those pipes. It scratches and damages the inner walls of your arteries. Then your body tries to patch those scratches with cholesterol. Over time, those patches build up and block the flow. I once met a woman named Eleanor who couldn't understand why she had high blood pressure. She ate low-fat everything. She had toast for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch. She thought she was doing everything right, but she was flooding her system with hidden glucose all day long. Her body was constantly inflamed, fighting a fire she kept refueling with her own grocery shopping. Once she switched to eggs and vegetables, the inflammation went down and her energy returned. It felt like magic, but it was just biology. This is a perfect moment to pause. If you are realizing that you might have some of these habits, or if you simply want to ensure you are around to see your grandchildren grow up, please hit the like button right now. It helps other seniors find this information so they can protect their health too. And if you want to be part of a community that values longevity, consider subscribing. It's a small click for you, but it sends a big message that you care about your future. Now let's move to the third danger, and this one is tricky because it is invisible. It is the danger of a dry engine. As we age, our bodies betray us in a very specific way. We lose our sense of thirst. When you were 30, if you needed water, your brain shouted at you. You felt thirsty. But now, that signal is a whisper. You might be severely dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. Why does this matter? Because water is the delivery system for everything in your body. It moves nutrients in and toxins out. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thick like syrup. Your heart has to work twice as hard to pump that thick sludge through your veins. I want you to think of your kidneys like a coffee filter. If you pour plenty of water through, the filter works easily. But if you try to push thick, dry sludge through a filter, what happens? It gets clogged. It breaks. Kidney failure is a silent epidemic among seniors, often triggered by simple chronic dehydration. I knew a gentleman named Robert who started getting confused. He would forget names and get dizzy. His family thought it was dementia. They were terrified. They started looking at nursing homes. But a sharp nurse at the hospital noticed his skin was dry and his lips were cracked. They put him on fluids, and within 24 hours, the dementia vanished. He wasn't losing his mind, he was just thirsty. Imagine losing your independence simply because you didn't drink enough water. It's a tragedy that happens more often than you think. You cannot wait until you're thirsty. You have to drink water like it is your medicine. The fourth danger is not about what you put in your body, but about who you let into your life, or rather, who you don't. It is the danger of isolation. We often think of health as physical, muscles, bones, and blood, but the brain is a physical organ too, and it needs stimulation just as much as your legs need walking. When you stop seeing friends, when you stop having conversations, or when you stay inside for days at a time, your brain begins to physically shrink. It is a condition called failure to thrive. We have seen this with the recent global events. Seniors who were cut off from their families declined incredibly fast. Loneliness triggers a stress response in the body that is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That is a shocking number, isn't it? It sounds impossible, but the stress hormones released when you are lonely dissolve your immune system. You become more susceptible to viruses, your wounds heal slower, and your heart becomes weaker. Connection is not a luxury, it is a biological necessity. Even if it is just saying hello to the mailman or calling a friend for 5 minutes, those interactions are sparks that keep the electrical wiring of your brain firing. Don't let your world become small. A small world leads to a small life. And now we arrive at the final danger. This is the one I warned you about. It is the one that shocks even the most health-conscious seniors because it strikes when you think you are doing nothing at all. It is the danger of poor sleep and the use of sleeping aids. In our culture, we treat sleep like a switch. You turn it off at night and on in the morning. But sleep is actually the cleaning shift for your brain. During the day, your brain cells are working hard, producing waste products. Think of it like a busy office where papers and trash accumulate on the floor. When you go into deep sleep, a special system, the glymphatic system, opens up and washes that trash away. It effectively power washes your brain. But here's the problem. As we get older, our sleep becomes lighter. We wake up more often, and many seniors turn to sleeping pills or a glass of wine to help them doze off. This is the deadly mistake. Sleeping pills and alcohol might knock you out, but they do not allow your brain to enter that deep cleaning cycle. You are unconscious, yes, but you are not sleeping in a restorative way. It's like locking the cleaning crew out of the building. The trash builds up. Night after night, that toxic waste accumulates in the brain. Scientists now believe this buildup is a primary driver of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. You might think you slept 8 hours because you took a pill, but your brain is still drowning in the waste from the day before. I remember talking to a woman named Sarah, who was terrified of not sleeping. She took a pill every night for 10 years. She started having tremors and memory lapses. When she finally worked with a specialist to taper off the pills and learned natural sleep habits, like getting morning sunlight and cooling down her bedroom, her recovery was slow but real. She realized she had been sedating herself, not resting. So, what can you do about all of this? The world can feel full of invisible threats, just like the privacy dangers we hear about. But you are not powerless. In fact, you are incredibly powerful. Awareness is your shield. You now know that the chair is a challenge to be overcome, not a throne to rest on forever. You know that sugar is a rust that corrodes your pipes. You understand that water is the oil for your engine, that friendship is medicine, and that natural sleep is the only way to clean your brain. You can take small steps today. Stand up during commercials. Drink a glass of water before every meal. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while. These are not difficult tasks, but they are the bricks that build a fortress around your health. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just change one thing. I promised you an interesting fact to end this lecture, and this is something that always fills me with wonder. Did you know that your heart creates enough energy every single day to drive a truck 20 miles? Think about that. Even at rest, even as you listen to me now, your body is generating an immense amount of power. You are a machine of incredible potential, no matter your age. Your body wants to live. It wants to repair itself. It is fighting for you every second. All it asks is that you stop putting obstacles in its way. Don't let these silent habits steal your independence. Take control of your routine before your routine takes control of you. I want to know which of these 5 dangers surprised you the most. Was it the chair, the water, or perhaps the sleeping pills? Tell me in the comments below. Reading your stories helps us all feel a little less alone in this journey of aging. Thank you for giving me your time today. Remember, it is never too late to start a new chapter of health. You have the knowledge now. The rest is up to you. Stay curious, stay active, and please stay hydrated.